Hello everyone, I have a doozy of a deck for you today. So for a long time, I've been really wanting to build this deck, but I keep putting it off. So I finally made it. This deck is an absolute dumpster fire, but it works. And the reason why is because that dumpster fire is Lasting Tarfire. Enchantment, 1 in red, at the beginning of each end step. If you put a counter on a creature this turn, this enchantment deals 2 damage to each opponent. So I really like the Blight mechanic, and I really like this card, so I really wanted to build around it. I tried building into Blight first, which obviously this card came out in Lorwyn Eclipsed, so you kind of wanted to build it into Blight, but as I was building it, I kind of started going a different direction. So it was going to originally be like a Rakdos, Goblins, Lasting Tarfire kind of pile, but the more I played with it, the more I started looking at other cards in Jund. So here's what I got for you. So just about every card in this deck, except for the lands, put counters on things. So let's go through it. We start with Requiting Hex. It's the only removal spell in the deck, so this deck is inherently not very interaction heavy. So we got Requiting Hex, and the reason why this one is in here is because as an additional cost to cast a spell, you can Blight 1. So that adds a counter onto something, right? Which would trigger the Lasting Tarfire. And destroy target creature mana by 2 or less. If the spell's additional cost is paid, you gain 2 life. So we don't really care about that. Most of the time, we just use it without blighting, because everything else is putting counters on our stuff for us. So this usually just ends up being a decent early game removal spell. Here's our first turn play though. Ambitious Augmenter. So 1/1 with Increment, which means whenever you play another spell that has a higher mana cost than Ambitious Augmenter's current power, it will get a +1 counter on it. So if you play Ambitious Augmenter on 1 into Lasting Tarfire on 2, that will put a +1 counter on Ambitious Augmenter, which would trigger Lasting Tarfire. So you play this on 1, play this on 2, this becomes a 2/2, hit the opponent for 2, and then Tarfire hits them for an additional 2. So that's 4 damage on turn 2, which is pretty decent. We also have Snakeskin Veil. Really important card for this deck because this deck is a little on the fragile side, so having a little bit of defensive moves is good, especially ones that put +1/+1 counters on your creatures, right? So next up we have a real MVP for this deck. This is Sinkhole Surveyor. A lot of you guys might have forgotten about this card, but I haven't. This card's fun. So this is a 1/3 for 2 mana. Flying. Whenever this creature attacks, you lose 1 life, and this creature endures 1. So what Endure does is you get to choose one option. Either create a 1/1 spirit token, or put a +1/+1 counter on the bird. Usually in this deck, you're going to be making bird tokens, or making counters to go onto your bird. But also, bear in mind, Ambitious Augmenter, this will trigger an Ambitious Augmenter on turn 1. So keep that in mind. Also, we are running 4 copies of Scavenging Ooze. Now, the real reason is because graveyard hate is pretty important in current standard. Almost every deck out there is playing some form of graveyard synergies, be it straight up Reanimator, or playing cards like Flashback to reanimate cards from the graveyard, or anything in between. Having Scavenging Ooze in the main board is actually a pretty spicy play. And also, if you exile a creature from the graveyard, you get +1/+1 counters, which will definitely come into relevance, even against non-Reanimator decks. Then we have Qarsi Revenant. So, at first, you might be thinking, why is this in here? This doesn't do any kind of +1 counters. But it does do counters. So, it's renewability. It's 2 and a black, exile this card from your graveyard, put a flying counter, a death touch counter, and a lifelink counter on target creature. Activate as a sorcery. So what you do is if this is dead, you activate its renew, put its counters on something like a big Scavenging Ooze or a big Ambitious Augmenter, so that they then have flying, death touch, and lifelink. But also, that's an active putting counters on cards, which triggers Lasting Tarfire. Pretty cool. Now, next up we have Warden of the Grove. Now, I was thinking of Ouroboros for this slot, but honestly, I'm so sick and tired of playing with Ouroboros. Like, every deck that's green just wants to jam it in there because it's fucking awesome. And it is. It is a great card. But I wanted to play with this, because this is kind of a cool card. It comes down 1 turn sooner, and it kind of like augments every creature that you play past that point. Also, you do have the sometimes very relevant option of creating spirit tokens. So, at the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Whenever another non-token creature you control enters, it endures X, where X is the number of counters on this creature. So if you have 2 counters on this creature, you get to create a 2/2 spirit token, or put 2 +1/+1 counters on another creature that comes into play. Now, the only kind of like anti-synergy that this has is actually with the Lasting Tarfire, because both the Warden and the Tarfire trigger at the beginning of the end step. If you didn't put another counter on something outside of this one trigger during a turn, this won't trigger, which is kind of a non-bow, and if you don't like that, by all means, play Ouroboros. But usually in this deck, where everything is putting counters on things, it's not that big of an issue. Okay, next up, Alesha Who Laughs at Fate. It's a 2-of in this deck. It's a pretty good one. So it's a 2/2 for 3 mana. First strike. Whenever Alesha attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay, cool. Triggers Lasting Tarfire. But also, Raid. Raid means this ability triggers if a creature you control attack this turn. At the beginning of your end step, if you attack this turn, return target creature card with mana value less than or equal to Alesha's power from your graveyard to the battlefield. So, let's say, for example, you had a Scavenging Ooze earlier, or you had an Ambitious Augmenter. They happen to die because your opponent's throwing a bunch of removal at you. Alesha comes in, if you attack, you get the creature back, which is pretty awesome, especially with Ambitious Augmenter, because when this dies, you create a 0/0 fractal that puts the Ambitious Augmenter's counters onto the fractal. So, if this dies, suddenly you have a fractal token, suddenly Lasting Tarfire triggers, and then you get to have Alesha bring the Ambitious Augmenter back later if you need to. Also, it will very easily trigger for Scavenging Ooze and Sinkhole Surveyor the turn it comes into play. It's really good. And then, we're almost done here. So we have Immersturm Predator. I forgot this card was in Standard. I really did. But this card is really cool. It's a 3/3 for 4. It's a flying vampire dragon. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Okay, that's awesome. +1 counters. It also exiles cards from graveyards, which is the same thing that Scavenging Ooze is doing. So we got a lot of graveyard hate in this deck already. And also it has another ability, sacrifice another creature. This creature gains indestructible to on a turn, tap it. So this can be done at any time. So if you want your Immersturm Predator to survive combat or something like that, you can give it indestructible by sacrificing something like Ambitious Augmenter. If it had counters on it, boom, you got the fractal coming into play, +1 counters dropping on the fractal, Lasting Tarfire triggers. You've seen what we're doing here. Everything is causing the Lasting Tarfire to trigger in some way. And last on the list here is Halana and Alena, partners. 2/3 for 4 mana, first strike, reach. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put X +1/+1 counters on another target creature you control, where X is Halana and Alena's power. That creature gains haste until end of turn. Pretty awesome. Giving creatures haste, making them stronger, +1 counters, Lasting Tarfire. Synergy. It's good. And also, this creature will come into play bigger if you already have a Warden of the Grove on the table, which is good because Warden is 3 mana, this is 4 mana, curves right on out. It's really good. So, and the lands are going to look a little weird for this deck because I'm building this deck to be rotation proof. There is nothing in this deck that is older than Foundations, so everything in here is going to survive the rotation that comes up in 2027. So, unfortunately, the mana is a little weird, but it worked so far. So we got 4 Stomping Grounds, 4 Overgrown Tomb, 4 Deathcap Glade, 4 Blood Crypt, and then the rest are basic lands. So no man lands, not a whole lot of utility lands, but also you really can't play a whole lot of utility lands in a 3-color deck. You kind of need to hit your colors. So that's the deck right there. If you're curious about the sideboard, one moment here. Let's move my little head down here. Sideboard is going to be kind of shoring up our bad matches. So we got 3 copies of Feed the Swarm, which is to destroy target creature or enchantment opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. We have 3 copies of Abrade, deal 3 damage to your creature or destroy an artifact. Obliterating Bolt, 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If that creature or planeswalker would die this turn, exile it instead. Really good against creatures like Unstoppable Slasher. We got Hero's Downfall. This is just a universal kill spell for any creature or planeswalker. And then we have 2 copies of Reclamation Sage. So 2/1, when this creature enters, you may destroy a target artifact or enchantment. And then we have 2 copies of Ancient Vendetta. This is really just here to handle combo decks or decks that rely on like a single way to win the game. So like you're going up against like an Ugin deck or a Jeskai Revelation deck, you want to bring a couple of those in. So there it is. That is the deck. We're going to go play some games with it right now, and I will see you at the end of this video for the post-game wrap-up. Okay, what goes first? We have 3 lands, all 3 of our colors. Requiting Hex, Lasting Tarfire, Ambitious Augmenter, and Scavenging Ooze. It's pretty good curve. We do Augmenter on 1 into Lasting Tarfire. Should be a good play. Okay, I open with the Swamp. I will open with the Overgrown Tomb, so we can play the Ambitious Augmenter. Okay, demo field, endless stuff. Nice, I like it. Let's see here. Let's go. Blood Crypt, Tarfire. Tarfire triggers, 2 more damage. You want to kill my guy? He does. Alright. Kills it. Discards Decorum Dissertation. Alright, so made this fractal, put a +1 counter on it, so Lasting Tarfire triggered on their turn. It's pretty sweet. So here, let's see. Let's go with... I think we'll go with Warden of the Grove. We won't be able to get that trigger this turn, which is fine. But Warden will allow us to get +1 counter triggers later. Oh, Slasher. Okay. Let's go with... That's 2 of us. Let's go with... Scavenging Ooze. Make an extra creature. And we'll say... Attack with the Warden. Can we attack with the Warden? No, I don't think we do. Well, let's see if they take the bait. They did not take the bait. Okay. Their turn. Deadly cover up, huh? Okay. Well, that'll do. So do I have a creature in my yard? I do. So let's at least do this. Exile that so we can get the Tarfire damage. What do you get rid of? Oh, my Wardens. Okay, that's not a big deal. Let's see. Let's go... Augmenter. And then we're going to cast another Tarfire, so we can get multiple triggers per turn. Bam bam. Now if they kill my Augmenter at this point, without exiling it, we can just straight up kill them, which is going to be great. More of them. Okay, that changes things a little bit. Let's see. Let's go with... Qarsi Revenant. Another +1 counter there. No attacks. Blast him. Don't come at me. If I had the mana available, I would hex my own guy, run it down. So we'll just let him come in and do that 5. See if he has an board wipe. He does. He has Blasphemous Edict. That's fine. I create another guy, which is going to trigger Lasting Tarfire. Sinkhole. Here, let's do this. Qarsi Revenant to put the counters there. They're not +1 counters, but they are counters. So we're going to hit them, and Lasting Tarfire is going to finish the job. Alright, what have we got here? Blood Crypt, Swamp, Tarfire, Snakeskin. No green mana, whole lot of green spells in hand. This is a mulligan. That's much better. We'll keep that, send Immersturm Predator to the back. And we go first, so we'll play the Blood Crypt early, let it come into play tapped. Save ourselves 2 points of damage. That's pretty, I like that. Okay, what do they have there? Ominous Asylum. They're a Spider-Man enjoyer. Alright, let's go. Oh shoot, I did play this out of order, didn't I? I'm not going to be able to play the Scavenging Ooze on 2, I mean. That's fine. It's all good. I think we'll just play the Qarsi Revenant out first. Impact Tremors, okay. I like where you're going. Alright, Deathcap Glade. Qarsi. Okay, play a Swamp. Patchwork Banner. What are they gonna choose? Goblin. Is this a Goblin deck? Okay, I'm into it. Let's go. Warden the Grove. And we're attack for 3. Keep mana available for Snakeskin Veil. +1 counter on the Warden. That's a cool command. Ah, Cranko, should have known. Yep, take 1. Thankfully that thing doesn't have haste. But I'm going to have to hastily overcome this deck. Because otherwise I'm going to get my ass ran over. My turn. Ooh, Tarfire. Okay. Let's go Ooze. +1 counter on the Ooze. Swing for... Actually, let's swing with both and see if they take the bait. They do not. Alright, Tarfire. Boom, boom. Double Impact Tremors, okay. Sear Slicer, Goblin, alright. Take some hits here. They attack with Cranko. Oh no, they just make some dudes. Alright. A lot of damage here. Thankfully, I have a lot of health. Alright, let's see here. Let's go ahead and go. Oh gosh. They might actually just out-damage me. Yeah, so let's go. We're going to attack like this and this. Block with both. Sweet. Alright. Go and put a +1 counter there. Okay. I'll do it again. Yes, you will draw cards. I'll get those triggers. Take more damage. Third Impact Tremors. Holy hell. Okay. Good thing I have 22 health. See what happens. Mud Button Curse Tosser. Nice. I like this Goblin stack. This is pretty sweet. Alright, that's 9 more triggers. Alright. Okay, cool. I think I win. So, do we have a creature in either of our graveyards? Oh shit, we don't. Okay, so we have to do this. So we're gonna go Augmenter. +1 counter. Next, attack for 3 in the air. Win the game. Whew, that was close. That was really damn close. Okay, I get to go first. We got 4 lands, 3 creatures, pretty decent curve. Keep it. So that means we'll open with Forest into Ambitious Augmenter. Let's see what they're playing. A swamp. Okay. Let's go mountain. Another one. Natural one. Collector's Vault, huh? Is this a Reanimator deck? So that's what I would play in a Reanimator deck. I love Alesha. Alesha is such a great character. And this version of her is really good. Okay, they draw and discard. I want to see what they're going to discard. Because if I'm right, I think this is probably a Reanimator deck. Yep. Yes, it is. So that means I'm playing the Scavenging Ooze next turn. What does this even do? Mind Trample. Mind Trample, Indestructible Haste, other artifact creature control, all that. Okay, cool. So let's go here, and let's go Ooze. Attack for 4. Now, when they go to reanimate something, I kill it. Whatever they target. What you gonna do, little buddy? Aha, a mountain. Look at that. Kick-off celebrations. When enters, you may discard a card if you do draw 2. Sacrifice creatures and vehicles gain haste. Okay. So it's like that sibling rivalry card from Brothers War. Are they going to discard? They probably should discard to draw in order to draw into some removal, because they need to get that Scavenging Ooze off the table. I wonder which one is more Mistrample and Haste. Okay. Okay, he's tapping out. Yeah. Go for it. Make a treasure token. Draw and discard. Alright. Okay, well, let's activate this end of turn. Let's get Krang out of there. That's a little ridiculous. Alright, Blood Crypt. Get 2 life. Go ahead and attack. Put him to 4. And let's go ahead and play a Qarsi Revenant. Probably should have played that before swinging, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. It would not have been enough damage to kill them. Alright. Activate. Remove the target. And fizzled the Zombify. I believe that's game. But I don't want to prematurely celebrate. Is it game? It's game, yeah. Okay, I get to go first. That's awesome. 2 Overgrown Tombs and a Stomping Ground. So that's all 3 of our colors. Alesha, Tarfire, Ambitious Augmenter, Warden Grove. That's a great curve. Alright, so Tomb first, pay 2 life. Ambitious Augmenter. So next turn we'll play the Lasting Tarfire, get a +1 counter on the Augmenter. Goblins again, huh? Alright. Stomping Ground, pay 2 life. Tarfire. Attack. Get 2. Take 2 more. Get a 14. Okay. Interesting. Hexing Squelcher. Okay. I like it. I'm going to be targeting these guys, but it's all good. Overgrown Tomb again. Let's see here. Let's go... Qarsi Revenant. This one. Attack. Right, take 2 more. Lighting Helix. Alright, so that goes, but it creates that, which will trigger the Lasting Tarfire on their turn. I think they saw it. Okay, opponent goes first. We have 2 lands, but all 3 of our colors. Tarfire, Halana, Alena, Snakeskin Veil, Scavenging Ooze, and Warden. Not too bad of a start. We'll keep it. Alright, get another Ooze. Actually, oh shoot, I pushed the wrong button. Oh well. Town Greeter. What's that? Creature enters mill 4 cards, and we put a land card from among them into your hand. If you put a town card into your hand this way, gain 2 life. And that was not a town. Alright, let's go ahead and... Oh, hang on a second. There we go. Let's play that. Play the Ambitious Augmenter. Let's see if they kill it. A lot of times people will kill an Ambitious Augmenter before I can get a counter on it to prevent the extra creature from being created. You take one of my cards. You should probably take the Lasting Tarfire, but you probably don't know that. No blocks. Ah, there we go. Okay, that saved us a little bit. So let's go with... We're gonna go with the Scavenging Ooze, because if this is the deck that I think it is, they're probably going to play some way to reanimate or get Deceit back to hand. Okay, we'll play a Wastewood Verge. Awaken the Undead, huh? Okay. What you gonna do there? You're gonna blow up my Ooze? Alright, well, let's animate. Or activate and get the Deceit out of there. Yeah, I'll take the 1. Oh, he's not gonna attack. Alright, cool. So let's see here. Let's go with... Let's put the Scavenging Ooze again. Okay, he's gonna block. And we will pass the turn. Okay, he's gonna mill 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's a pretty good mill. 2 lands and another Awaken. Okay, play a land. It's a Breeding Pool. Okay, end of turn. Let's get these guys out of the graveyard. Overlord comes out, as well as one of the Town Greeters. Alright, cool. Let's go... Let's go Lasting Tarfire. Attack. Okay. And before we get to the end of turn, let's get the other Town Greeter out, so we can get the counter. Then we end the turn. Lasting Tarfire deals 2 damage. Okay, discard a card. Then return target creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, they chose not to. Smart play. Because whatever you targeted, I would just remove at instant speed. Overgrown Tomb. Into Formidable Speaker. Good card. Okay. Just gonna discard a card in order to search up a creature card. What are you gonna search? Maybe Overlord of the Balemark? What's it gonna be? I could either go for Overlord or Deceit at this point. They're getting a Town Greeter. That's interesting. Do they need that much more land? Get a Cavern of Souls. Alright, end of turn. Let's get that Kiora out of there. Alright, got a Warden here. Let's see here. Let's play this Warden. Swing. Okay, block like that. Now since Augmenter already had a counter go on it this turn, I don't need to activate Scavenging Ooze. So long as I've had a counter go on something before we get to the end of turn step, we're solid. Okay, plays Awaken the Undead, target Scavenging Ooze. Okay, I will activate and get rid of Town Greeter. Now, a counter did go on to the Ooze before it died, so Lasting Tarfire will trigger. So at this point, all I really need to do is let this trigger on their turn, and then trigger again on my turn. Okay, so let's go ahead and just let them concede. Yep. Okay, and we are back with the post-game wrap-up, and what I have to say about this deck is, yes, it is a little fragile, but once it gets rolling, it really gets rolling. These creatures get really big, really fast, and can really put the hurt on people if they're not expecting what you have going on. And honestly, who the hell is going to be expecting this deck? So, really, the best way to roll out this deck is to get Ambitious Augmenter out on one, and then follow that up with Lasting Tarfire or Sinkhole Surveyor, and then just turn 3, Warden of the Grove is your most likely play. Unless you got a Qarsi Revenant, that will probably take precedence. And pretty much from there, you're just riding those creatures that are growing bigger and bigger every turn until the game's over. I mean, the deck is pretty decent. It's got some protection in the form of Snakeskin Veil and some recursion in the form of Alesha. But honestly, like, the deck just runs so many creatures that you're really not going to run out of threats. It's pretty resilient and can definitely bounce back from a board wipe or two. So, like, as we saw when we played against the mono black deck, they pulled off 2 board wipes against us, and they still lost because Lasting Tarfire just gets that extra damage out there. Like, even if you don't have any creatures left, if you still have a Lasting Tarfire on the table, you'll eventually draw something that puts a counter on something. It's a pretty damn good card. So that's the deck. This is my new like pet deck for the moment, and I gotta tell you, I'm having so much fun with this. I'm gonna get back out there and play some more games with this right now. If you want to join me and play this deck too, I'll leave a deck list in the description box down below so you can try it out too. Maybe you can make an even better version of it than I did. So until next time, take care of yourselves.